Welcome back, everyone, to Grand Tactician, the Civil War. It is September 1861. If you have not seen this campaign to this point, there's a link in the description that will take you back to the beginning. We're going to take a look at our blockading situation real quick. I've got some new ships on their way to transferring to our Gulf blockading squadron. We're going to beef that number up quite a bit, and we are going to send them to start blockading the largest city in the Confederacy, and that is New Orleans, Louisiana. Now, historically, the Navy actually was able to move past the forts St. Philip and Fort Jackson and actually take the city of New Orleans, coming up from the Mississippi Delta with very little help from the Army. So I doubt we're going to be able to do that here, but at the very least, we're going to be able to at least blockade them. I need to get some men into Fort Sumter. I just recruited a unit that's going to go down to Fort Pickens. We're just going to try to hold on to these southern forts wherever we possibly can. I got to find Sumter and see. We're actually getting pretty low on available units for recruitment, so we're going to have to start. Let's go to finances, and we're going to have to. I guess we're already maxed out on what we're investing in military, so hopefully we'll see more and more units coming in. The Army of the Susquehanna has been able to take Winchester. Well, they're in the process of taking Winchester. There's also a hospital. I believe the Confederates were building that hospital, but we've kind of taken over the region now. We are building one ourselves in Washington. His armies have slipped away from Lew Wallace and the Army of the Potomac. We're going to sit tight with the Army of the Susquehanna here for a while. I wonder if this hospital is going to continue being... Yeah, looks like it's going to continue to be constructed, and we'll just get to keep it for ourselves. Now, let's find, where is McClellan? He is here with the Army of the Ohio. I think we'll go ahead and move down and take Louisville with them. These guys will probably have to follow. We're going to keep the Ohio squadron going along with them down the river. Grant's army is building his base of supply in Cairo. Once he's done that, we're going to try to make a move on the Army of Mississippi. And the Army of the Missouri, under William Tecumseh Sherman, is currently protecting St. Louis, but I think we'll start moving into Missouri, where these supply depots are, and kind of stay in supply that way. Current situation, 170,000 men on each side fielded, though a lot of my manpower is in those forts. I probably have far less than that in the field. You can see my 5 field armies over here on the right. So about 57,000 men there, 95,000, and then another 100. That's about 157,000 in our armies in the field. We got to up the number of artillery pieces in those armies, though. So McClellan is now taking Louisville, and that's a big step in the right direction for us. I don't see any Confederate armies. Oh, there is one Confederate army in Mississippi right here. I mean, not Mississippi, but in Kentucky. Confederacy issues letters of marque. The Gulf blockading squadron has reached their destination. Let's see how effective they're going to be in that role. I'm kind of curious about that. Give them blockade orders. And it'll take a little bit of time to start seeing that effect. Actually, I think I might want to move them up and maybe hit these forts. I don't know. There we go. The blockade has started. I think they're actually in combat. Yep, they are. So he sent his New Orleans squadron down there to deal with us, but I don't think that's going to go particularly well for him. As you can see, we're already sinking some ships. Oh, that's fantastic. Results of the Battle of the Mississippi Delta. 2 ships have been sunk. Oh, I whistled there when I talked. And 3 ships captured. Fantastic job by the Gulf blockading squadron under Commander William Mervyn. I'm actually curious to see who else we have available in that role. He's decent. But I've never really taken much time to look at the Navy commanders. There's David Farragut. That's probably the guy we want for that job. Let's go ahead and put Farragut in that role. You can see the ships that are already there, and then a number of others that we have on the way. Let's take a look at our available projects, see if there's anything worth getting right now. I don't think there is. There's a lot I want to save up for. Recruitment offices might be a good idea, actually, because we could use the recruitment. Each level of this project further increases the number of available volunteers. That's kind of a priority for me right now. Plus 5%, that's good. The lower base squadron's one of my largest. It's got 366 guns, a firepower of 300, and we are not currently using them. So let's send them down here to hit this Confederate squadron. We're going to use them to patrol, and we're going to hit this squadron here, Atlantic Squadron 2, see if we can't deal with them effectively. My Atlantic blockading squadron's probably not going to do a whole lot where they're currently at. Let's send them over this way, see if we can hit his North Carolina squadron. Eventually we're going to send them down here to around the area around Charleston and blockade there. I'm going to try to use the Navy a lot more this time around. Alright, naval engagement underway. We sank the CSS Forest. 2 enemy ships sunk and 3 captured. Fantastic news. We are really doing a number on the enemy Navy right now. Let's go ahead and send them down to blockade the area around Charleston. And then we're going to wait for this other squadron to get into place to go after his Atlantic squadron here. Grant's supply depots have been completed. We are going to upgrade those because I don't think that's going to be enough for what we want to do, but it's a good start. We'll get those 2 upgraded, and now I believe Grant is in position with his 38,000 men, although he's showing low on food, so maybe now that those depots are done, that's going to change. There we go. Perfect. So now that he's got supply, his situation has vastly improved, and I think we're now in position to see if we can't pursue the army of Mississippi. Projects available. Trade deals. Each level this increases profits. I think we're going to wait because I want to see what else we might be able to get. Army of the Ohio, we're just going to have to go into Indiana and pursue the Florida State Militia, 27,000 men. Let's give McClellan another upgrade here. I like the idea of skilled cartographers there. Okay, I have to admit that of all the things that I expected to happen, him landing troops, 7,500 men, near New York City to try and make an invasion was not among the things I expected to see happen. I guess we're going to have to send a force up there to deal with that. Definitely wasn't expecting that. I think what we'll have to do, it's 7,500 men. I don't want to send a whole army. So what I'm probably going to do here is I'm going to probably send a division of the Army of the Potomac to deal with them. We'll create a new army temporarily. We're definitely not going to call it the Army of Michigan. We'll call it the Army of the Hudson. Looks like it's going to be under Burnside, who I thought already had a command, but I guess not. And then what we'll do here is we'll transfer the Airborne Division to him. It'll take 14 days for that to happen. Let's see where their headquarters is going to be. Please don't tell me they're going to form in Buffalo. Alright, let's find it this way. Oh, he formed in Michigan. I must have accidentally selected Michigan instead of New York for that. I'm not entirely sure how that happened, but we'll move them to New York. And we'll make sure that they have the proper movement orders for that. Which means telling them to take rail if possible. All kinds of crazy things happen. There we go. That's what I was trying to get. Was the ability to select. I don't know what's going on here. But normally you should be able to select these 3 things and tell them to take river sea, rail, whatever you need. Alright, well, when I sent McClellan to deal with the Florida State Militia, I was not expecting that there were, in fact, 3 armies operating in southern Indiana. And that is actually the case. So this is going to be a tough one for McClellan. He's heavily outnumbered. Alright, we spotted him. He's actually dug in an interesting position that might work to my advantage, despite the heavy disadvantage in numbers I have. Because you see that it shows 44,000 to 29,000. But then you also have to count the fact that I have a replacement depot that has about 7,500 men that I can't use. So I'm actually outnumbered better than 2 to 1. So let's start, and we have to attack, and our cohesion is not showing as very good at the moment. So we're going to start by, we're going to keep the first cav right where they are. I'm going to send Buell with the Green Berets around to this side. We're going to get all of our artillery over here too. We've got a nice open plain here. Oh, he's dug in. Yeah, I should have expected that. But we're going to try to come up and hit him from this side if we can. So let's try to isolate small units if possible, wherever possible. So we're going to start here with a single unit of Tennessee State Militia that's down here by itself. We got a lot of artillery down on this side. And then we're going to have to hold these guys in place because he may come down here to try to help out. And then we're going to try to do the same with these guys north of the river. Try to hit them before they can get reinforcements. Alright, 7th SFGA, let's get in there. Tell them to double time. Let's try and get over there as quickly as we can. I might turn these guys so they'll start firing. At least for now. We're definitely not going to attack these guys that are dug in. Oh, he's got artillery there too. Alright, 5th is firing on the Tennessee State Militia. We're going to get the 7th firing on them, so that'll be a good advantage we'll have. Once we destroy them, we'll turn up this way. Let's get the artillery going. We've got our dismounted cav here, but the Buckeye Guards are still moving to get into position, and I don't know that that's going to work out so well for them because they're about to run headlong into Rhodes's division, or Rhodes's brigade. They're in a really bad situation where they're going to take casualties rapidly. There's artillery right there too. It's not a good situation at all. I'm going to slow things down because I'm going to need to have as much control over this situation as I can. I'm going to move Gruber's guards right in behind that cavalry. Alright, he's coming this way now, so that means we're going to have to turn to face them. Got 24 pounders right here. Let's see if we can't move them right up. Just a little out of range here. Alright, so far, so good. Alright, now let's real quickly have the Buckeye guards turn and take out this battery before he destroys Little. Of course, that means they're going to cross right in front of these guys. Come on, guys. Why aren't you charging? Go. There you go. Buckeye guards may break because of that, but it's vital that I destroy that battery. I don't think 5th SFGA is in range. Of course, if that means if they're not in range, then Vance's brigade's probably not in range to hit them, so we're probably safe to go ahead and turn back on the Tennessee State Militia. So far, so good with the casualties. Alright, we took out that battery. Ah, I hate these Springfield muskets. I cannot wait until we get more rifled muskets for these units. The range is just terrible. I'm going to move up the Lincoln Loyalists to get some fire on these. Oh, there's 2 batteries here. Oh, there's one right there, too. They're going to have a really bad situation there. I need this Tennessee State Militia broken as quickly as possible so that we can turn on these guys. Are we not able to? Oh, they're still moving, that's why. Hit that battery. Oh man, there's so many units firing on me here. Reno's going to have a really, really bad situation with these batteries here. Oh, and now he's got Cav coming at me from the other side. Okay, let's do this. Mount up the first Cav. Send them over here. I don't know how long Reno's gonna last, though. Yeah, he's gonna break in a hurry. Send out some skirmishers. This is a bad situation on my left. I'm not sure it's a tenable one. There we go, we got Walker in trouble. Let's move up. Reno's gonna break. There's no way he holds there. Sorry, Lincoln Loyalists. I put you in an impossible situation. Dismount. Hit him. Come on, Corcoran. Drive those guys off. So the good news is we've lost 2,000 men but inflicted 4,700 casualties. The bad news is, yeah, there's just no way we're going to hold on our left. We're going to have to send a second force over there to help with this army, because this army can't take on 3 armies by itself. Especially one led by McClellan. Sheridan Scrappers are about to have a problem on their hands. I just don't think we can do enough on our right to make up for what's going to happen over here on the left. Yeah, there we go. They're in trouble now. Alright, Cook, hit him. Man, if things had just been a little better over on the left, we would have been okay. Just too much to ask. unfortunately. We're about to have the first cav break off too. They've lost almost 800 men. Still, more than 2-to-1 casualties. Yep, there they go. And now Gruber's guards stand alone on that side. The only chance we have is to further break him on my right before Gruber's guards get overwhelmed on the left. Just not sure that's going to be possible. You can see now the situation. But still, given the numbers we're dealing with, outnumbered 2-to-1 out here, we're doing all right. We'll at least hurt him for our future battles. And I can use the replacement depot to quickly replace the losses in my units. We actually might win this, though. That's the crazy part. Alright, Gruber's guards, hang on. Hang on for dear life. Oh! Nice. 8,500 casualties for the enemy, so outnumbered 2-to-1. My entire left collapses, but what happened on the right made up for it, and a lot of that's because I had a ton of artillery over there. We actually did lose one of our batteries. That was the first battery. But we had so much artillery loaded up on that side that it made up for it. The Battle of Vernon, Indiana, a major federal victory. 9,500 Confederate casualties. Nice job by McClellan, defeating 3 Confederate armies. Hopefully we can get them back on their own side of the Mississippi River now. Once again, we're going to be in combat with the Army of the Ohio, Vernon, Indiana. This time, a much different scenario, though. We are on defense, and we have the advantage in numbers. So, once again, we're going to send our replacement depot to the rear, but this time we're going to dig in right around this objective. Nice open battlefield. I think I've got the points to be able to do this, and we're going to make him have to come at us. And that is not going to be a good situation for him at all. I'm just going to build a nice little fortification all the way around this objective, even though I doubt he's going to come at me from this side. Used all the points. All right, perfect. So I think he's actually using some wisdom here and withdrawing from the battlefield. It does not appear he wants to fight. I just got a notification that he pulled Cobb's division out. I'm guessing the others are probably not far behind. So maybe we should have tried to pursue him, but I really don't think I want to. We'll let him get away. No, it looks like he is going to attack, and he doesn't have his full force yet. There's 3 hours until his other army arrives. So let's allow this to unfold. I expected he would probably come from this direction over this road, so I've got the units with the rifled muskets in that corner with the longest range. So it's going to be the 5th SFGA, 3rd SFGA, 7th right here, along with artillery already firing on him. I don't think he'd be so stupid as to attack with only 1 brigade, but you never know. In the meantime, we'll get all of our artillery firing on him. We've got 24-pounder howitzers there and there and there. We had a lot of those, so that's what our entire artillery force is made up of. We're taking on those skirmishers right now, and that's about it. Tell Corcoran to stay in his place here if the enemy comes around the other side. Alright, so far so good. Just some skirmishing happening. Of course, I don't expect he'll launch a full attack till the rest of his army gets here. We've reached the end of day one. His Army of Tennessee has arrived. This may be an opportunity for me to... I've got a few engineering points available to me. At the very least, we can upgrade what we have, and that took all the points we had. I thought about maybe extending my line here, but I think we'll hold it right where it is. He does have the rest of his troops now, so now we're looking at pretty even numbers. He's got a slight advantage when you take away my replacement depot, though my replacement depot is only 5,000 men now. So you take away that, and I've got about 21,000 to his 23. So we've been doing some skirmishing here and there with the enemy, and it looks like his other troops are finally starting to arrive. I'm going to pull my skirmishers back in. And the situation is this. We've inflicted about 750 casualties on the enemy, taking 430 ourselves. I don't know where those 430 are because, I mean, there's 46 of them right here. But otherwise, 11. I think they must be just... There's 83 losses from my cavalry who's just been sitting there the whole time. So I'm not entirely sure what that's about. Sheridan Scrapper's 139. Just from sitting there, and Lincoln Loyalists 137. They haven't been involved at all. So I'm not entirely sure if those are just deserters from overnight or what happened. Here comes the attack. And we do have our perk. They've got Sharpshooters 1. We're probably going to have to turn the 7th to face them, which means they'll be outside of the fortification, but it's not a huge deal. And I'm going to bring the first cav out and around and see if we can't get at this artillery. Go ahead. I mean, these are howitzers, so I guess anti-artillery is not probably the way to go. I mean, I can give them an order for counter battery fire, but they're not rifled, so they're not going to be real accurate with that. I'm better off to use them to hit his men as they're attacking. He's going to come right at me over here. Looks like we're going to get into a melee combat situation and drive them off. And now we can get on the flank of these guys, of Doles. No. You guys stay right where you are. Much different situation than the last battle that we fought with these guys. I'm a little worried for Corcoran about that artillery out there on his flank right there. I might just pull him back into the fortification. But we're going to send Little up there to deal with them as quickly as we can. Turn around, Corcoran. Alright, we'll speed things up here. I don't think it's going to take much to win this victory. As soon as we get the cav out here, we'll charge him in to take out that battery. He may be pulling back already. What in the world is Corcoran doing? Alright, let's hit him. I wasn't expecting to see him with cav out there. That's actually really smart on his part because he's protecting that battery. Now we're getting a glimpse of everybody else that's back there, so let's go ahead and pull the cav back. He's going to try to get out on my flank, so we're going to pull Corcoran back into this fortification now. Well, he decided to withdraw right after I pulled my guys back into the fortification. So 2,000 casualties for him, 693 for me. It's a minor victory, but once again, it's a defeat for the Confederates in Indiana soil. Hopefully this will drive them back. I keep saying that, but hopefully it'll happen. Alright, there's diplomacy policy number 2. That's going to be really helpful, I think, with our weapons situation. We could go Diplomacy 3, but I think I'm actually going to go back over here and go for... I don't think we'll go Militia Act 4. I think we might go for bounties, which is going to improve the number of volunteers that we have available to us. I don't think we're going to need to do the draft. I think bounties is going to be enough. So let's go ahead and do that. It'll take about a month to make that happen. That should get me the troops that I need to be able to recruit the rest of my units. Confederacy passes a tariff act. Interesting choice by them. 174,000 men in the field for us, 166 for them. Again, a lot of those for us are in forts, so, or in replacement units, so that's not the effective number we have. Gosh, how many times do these guys want to fight me? So, I think this time we'll auto-resolve it, because I think we're going to be fine to do that, just because of the numbers that we have. And we'll send some help. I'm going to transfer 8,000 men. Let's see. Since it's actually a auto-resolve situation, I can probably do it any way I want, but we're gonna transfer these 8,000 men in Baker's 1st Division temporarily to the Army of the Ohio to help them out with that situation. Meanwhile, Grant's Army of Tennessee, which now still has about 31,000 men, seems to be able to march pretty much unopposed to Nashville. All right, we won a victory at Vernon with the Army of the Ohio. So let's go ahead and pull them. Actually, we're gonna move them over here so we can grab all these Confederate-held territories. We're gonna keep pursuing them, but I would think he's gonna have to pull somebody. His Western Army is actually going up there now too. He still has the Missouri State Guard over here to deal with Sherman, but he's pulling his Western Army over here to hit the Army of the Ohio, who will get those reinforcements here fairly soon. But he's going to have to pull somebody down to deal with the Army of Tennessee, who otherwise is just going to march all the way to Georgia at this point if he doesn't do something about it. Here comes the Army of Mississippi, 26,000 strong. Burnside has arrived at the with the Army of the Hudson in New York, where Fort Tompkins is holding out. We did send a brigade to Fort Tompkins to be able to hold that. So Burnside's going to hit Hampton's division there and hopefully deal with them. We're kind of continuing to sit tight in this area here. Fort Doles does have 6,000 men. Fort Washington's got 6,000 men. So I think we're at a place now where we can start to venture out with Lew Wallace's Army of the Potomac. Army of the Northwest has 9,000 men. So we can also start moving out with the Army of the Susquehanna. All right, we won a glorious victory in the Atlantic. Atlantic Squadron 2 in... Wait. Oh, is that him? Yeah. All right, so we sank 9 enemy ships and captured 6. That's fantastic. The Lower Bay Squadron did that, and he defeated the Atlantic Squadron 3 by the enemy there. It looks like the Hampton Division is now retreating in panic. Actually, this is interesting because we have an opportunity here to hit him with our Navy while he's transferring them back. So who can I send? Let's send the Lower Bay Squadron. Well, they're still engaged, so we can't. But how about the Home Squadron? That would do the trick. Let's see if we can't intercept them. We can't right now because we got to fight. Army of the Susquehanna. He's only got 9,000 men there. That's... Yeah, we're gonna play this one. So interesting battlefield we have here. He's got 2 objectives. I expect that he's dug in around New Market. So we're gonna go right down the middle with half of our army, and we're gonna send the Alba Demi Division around this side, maybe to try and cross somewhere and get in behind him if possible. It's a long way to go down here, but that might be my best bet. So he's dug in around the 2nd objective. I doubt we're going to get into combat today. It's already 3 o'clock and it's October, so we're not going to have a ton of daylight, but we'll get as close as we can so we can redeploy. It'd be really nice if I was able to redeploy across the river. I'm just not sure we'll be able to get that far. But I've got Custer out front scouting for me with the 5th Michigan Cav. Dan Butterfield's division is moving into position slowly. And we're getting the Royal Scots Greys up there. Actually, I'm going to try to send them all the way over there if I can. Getting the artillery into position. Some of it does not have line of sight to him because he's up on this hill. It's a pretty strong defensive position, but we're about out of daylight. So I'm moving in. I've grabbed the first objective. I've got Cadwallader's division moving in over here on the right. And that's pretty much where we're going to stop for the day. Give our guys a chance to rest. We'll be able to shift them exactly where we want them. He may change and dig in further, given my new positions. Oh, it looks like we've got at least another hour. Okay, I thought that was all we were going to have, but I guess not. But we outnumber him pretty substantially. He's got a huge advantage in morale. I really don't see the point in advancing at this point because we're not going to have much daylight. As you can see, I'm trying to get this other battery in position to where they can actually fire. Okay, day 2. We're going to try to get in behind him on this hill. Come right up to this spot here. Try to get some artillery up here to where we can actually hit him from this side. And then once we're in position over there, then we'll probably start advancing on this side. Alright, we're bringing forward the skirmishers to deal with his artillery, and it looks like that's going to happen pretty fast. I'm still waiting for these units to get into position. Let's dismount both the 10th Hussars and the Royal Scots Greys and get them into position to start fighting. And then once the battery is dealt with, Rains' battery, which is happening pretty fast, we'll advance on this side. Alright, Highland Light Infantry is ready to go. Cameronians, we're waiting for them. Custer's Cav, I think we'll probably advance in behind with them. This is going to take a few minutes. Alright. Let's pull back the skirmishers. And okay, we got long range there. I'm going to pull Custer in behind them and use him to charge in when I'm ready to. Let's push forward on both sides. Cause him some panic. He doesn't know what to do in this situation. And we're going to very quickly turn this into a victory. Okay, so Stovall's coming in real close on me here. So we'll bring the Hussars around and deal with them. Highland Light Infantry and the Cameronians are moving in. They're going to start getting into the rear of these guys. They don't have rifled muskets, though, so they're going to have to get in close to be able to be in range to actually fire. Not sure what Butterfield's doing. There we go. Somehow that got all messed up with Butterfield's advance. Joe Hooker, commanding the Cameronians. Still not quite in range, though, because of how close we have to be with these guns. Same with the Highlanders. So let's push forward there. We've got them in a sandwich now. Interesting, this particular army's got a lot of guys who historically were pretty high-ranking officers. Obviously, you got Joe Hooker, who was an army commander. We've got Colonel George Meade commanding Philly's own brigade. Or Philly owns brigade. That was how it was requested, so I assume that's what was wanted there. Erasmus Keyes, I believe, was a corps commander. Dan Butterfield, famous for writing taps. He's a Medal of Honor recipient in real life. Meade was a great general. I don't think people realize what a good officer he was. There's a reason why he rose as quickly in command as he did. And people mistakenly think that he was replaced as Army of the Potomac commander. No, once he took command of the Army of the Potomac, a few days... Remember, he took command a few days before the Battle of Gettysburg and won that battle. So you can't praise him enough for that. He commanded the Army of the Potomac for the rest of the war after that. People think Grant replaced him. He didn't. Grant replaced Halleck as the commander-in-chief of the Army. Halleck stayed as like a chief of staff kind of position, a staff position, which he was well suited for. Just that Grant chose to make his headquarters in the field with the Army of the Potomac. So he was Meade's superior officer and happened to be with Meade in the field. But Meade had some great moments. I mean, he performed really, really well, even before he became commander of the Army of the Potomac. All right, this one's over. The only question is, can we maybe destroy this force? Maybe take some prisoners here. We're going to charge in with everybody and see what happens. This was always going to be a victory, though, with the numbers that I had. Yeah, it looks like they're going to get away. How about if we send Custer in? Maybe we can hit them with them. Major victory. Huge casualties. We did cause Benning's brigade to disintegrate, and we'll have a lot of guys captured from that. Nicely done. So losses are going to be about 4,000 for him, close to 1,000 for us. All right, last thing we're going to do for this episode is we're going to build a new base of supply and forts in Nashville. We'll put 2 of them here and make this a base from which we will not retreat. So put a couple of forts outside of Nashville. It'll take some time for that to happen. I'm going to, at least for now, I think, keep the Army of the Hudson constituted as it is. We'll eventually add some more units to flesh that out a little bit, and we're going to send them to kind of cover this middle ground here between the eastern and western theaters. Give us an extra force that can move around in the Ohio River Valley, because I think we're going to need that, especially if we're going to use the Army of the Ohio to start moving south. We're going to need all the armies we can get. Army of the Missouri, Sherman's force, sitting here in central Missouri at the moment, waiting to see if the Missouri State Guard will make a move on me. He's got 31,000 men, so it'd be a pretty even match. In fact, I may go ahead and move up toward him. But that'll be for another episode. We are currently waiting for more funding to hit for some of these projects I'd like to do. Specifically, I'd really like to be able to get better commanders, which is going to require us to get military education. That's going to be a while for that one, though. So we'll see what else unfolds as we go along. Policy-wise, we are currently working on bounties, and we're 20 days away from that. That should give us the needed manpower to start recruiting those additional units. Right now, you know, there's a pretty significant disadvantage in casualties for him compared to me. But as we get further along and he gets the draft, for example, his numbers are going to skyrocket. And we do have kind of a cap as far as how high we can get with our forces. So that's going to become a problem. But I'm hoping by then we'll have all of our units recruited and they will be starting to hit elite status. So even if we're outnumbered, we will have the advantage in firepower. So let me know your thoughts. Use the comment section below, and we will be back soon with another episode. Thanks for watching.